Hey everyone, welcome to December and welcome back to Real Community with the Andrew Farmer team. I'm going to make this introduction really short, sweet, and to the point because we have a really exciting interview today that I want you to check out. I have a good friend, his name's Brian, and he and his family built a modern luxury mountain cabin near Crystal Mountain. I've stayed there and it is a beautiful mountain getaway. Teaser, we have a really awesome big giveaway at the end of the interview and the video, so you're going to want to stay tuned. Cough, cough, hint, hint. Awesome giveaway related to the Airbnb. Real quick, the market. December brought us some really good news. We had 6 straight weeks of mortgage rates decreasing. They've come down almost a full point recently, which has been really encouraging for home buyers. So have a wonderful holiday season, everyone. Merry Christmas. Check out this interview with my friend Brian, and make sure you stay tuned to the end to hear about the giveaway. Cool. Hey Brian, good evening.
Hello. Yeah.
So I hear that you and Abby did a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We built a mountain cabin, and it's been a vision of ours since like 2008, and came to fruition in 2019. It took us a few years to build, but now we have a beautiful mountain cabin that we want to share with families like yourself and other families, and maybe your family, depending on if you're a lucky winner. We'll talk about
So
that.
winner, okay. So first of all, building a mountain cabin, that's no small thing.
No.
And this wasn't like, this didn't happen fast. This has been a dream in the making for a long time, and you ultimately spent like 3 years pretty intently on putting this together.
Yeah, COVID was smack dab in the middle of that.
Oh, goodness.
So that probably delayed us a little bit, but
Yeah.
about 3 years.
Yeah, and you mentioned that my family has stayed there, which again, thank you so much for that. My family, I think it was just one night in the end that we were there, but two pretty full days. And it's beautiful. Like,
Thank you.
I think when I told Allie, I have a friend, he built a cabin, he'd like us to stay there, in her mind, she saw like this little lake and this tiny little fishing cabin or something. So when I got online and showed her the pictures, man, it's not anything like that at all. It's gorgeous. So, and you mentioned as well, so reveal here for anyone who's listening, we are going to do a little giveaway getaway, so make sure you listen to the rest of the interview because we'll give kind of the full details, but somebody will get a chance to have a getaway just to themselves or with their family or with some friends, and it'll be an awesome experience. So with that being said, I really would love just for you to tell the story today. Just tell me about you and your family a little bit.
Yeah, so me and my wife, we met when we were 20.
Okay.
We've been married for, I think we got married when we were 24. So
How old are you now, Brian?
35.
35,
So
okay.
10 years. Oh, no, 10 years, yeah. 10 years came by and we didn't even realize it, and we're like, ooh. Yeah.
You guys forgot your 10-year anniversary?
Yeah, we're coming up on 11, so.
That's awesome.
So we've been married that long. We have 2 kids. We have a 5-year-old, or 6-year-old, she just turned 6, and a 7-year-old.
Okay.
So,
and you just finished coaching for your 6-year-old's team?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Her soccer team, and that was my first coaching experience, so that was really fun to be able to do that. And so yeah, we're just a young family, and just I mean, like, we're a pretty average family, you know. We're trying to get more rooted in our community and our church, and our kids go to private school, Cascade Christian, so trying to connect with families there. And one thing that's been on our heart is giving back. So for many years, and we didn't really struggle, but we didn't feel like we had enough to just bless others, you know what I mean? But now we're coming into a season of our life where that's like become a priority for us. So part of the reason why we want to do a giveaway, and we're letting others' families stay there, it was just to be a blessing to other people. And that's really important to me and my wife and my family. So.
I love that, and I love to, as people hear the rest of your story, they'll see this. I love how there's times where there's dreams in our heart, something we really want to do, and we just don't even have the pieces available to see how that could happen or what that would look like. Like my wife and I describe it like a chessboard sometimes. Like we have this dream or this vision or something, but the right pieces aren't in the right places yet. We can feel it, that it's there. And then something just happens, the board changes, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, this is the thing we've been desiring or dreaming or that we knew was coming. And so as people hear your story, seeing how that has come to fruition for you is going to be really awesome. Share with me about the setting of this story. So you already mentioned it's a cabin in the mountain. Tell me a little bit about where it's located, and tell me a little bit about the cabin itself.
Sure. So it's technically in Enumclaw, but it's Pierce County Incorporated. It's 20 minutes from Crystal Mountain.
20 minutes from Crystal Mountain.
20 minutes from the entrance of Mount Rainier.
Yeah, okay.
then it's like a little ways to get up all the way to the top. But about 20 minutes from Crystal Mountain and Marinere.
Beautiful nature, woods.
Big trees. The White River Valley's right there.
Was it the Goat Falls?
Goat Falls.
Oh my goodness, that is my favorite.
Yeah,
like
it's a hidden gem.
Little tiny hiking trail, but little waterfalls all over.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, beautiful location.
Yeah. So that, and then the cabin kind of just sits right off the highway. There's some small communities up there. It's in Crystal Village 3.
Okay.
There's Crystal Village 1, 2, and 3, and then there's the Crystal River Ranch. So one of them is across the White River, and we're on the other side of the White River. So it's just a small kind of community of houses, and it's a 6-acre lot, but it's about 1 acre down low, and then 6 acres that go kind of straight up. But we've, built trails so you can get up there and kind of explore. And one of my favorite parts is there's a Forest Service road that runs through the back part of our property. So once you get up to the Forest Service road, you've got hundreds of miles of pretty even flat land where you can just hike and explore, and you ride your bicycle and do whatever. So that's where I go when I want to go on a hike. I just go in my backyard, go to the Forest Service, and then go.
So it is a gorgeous location with a lot of really cool opportunities for people who enjoy the outdoors.
Yep.
It is also a really cool and beautiful indoor experience at your cabin.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about what someone might experience when they came to and into your cabin.
Yeah, so we tried to walk the line of that luxury rustic, where we have kind of more rustic finishes with, some more high-end like granite countertops and things like high-end appliances and things like that. So mountain luxury is kind of what we consider it. So it's 3 levels. So the main floor is the basement.
So when you enter, most people enter through the basement.
So we have kind of a winter entrance and then a summer entrance, because depending on if there's snow on the ground, there is a slight hill to get up to the side, the main entrance, which is on the side, to the main floor, which is the 2nd floor. So we have a winter entrance, which is the basement, and we purposefully, the floors in there are concrete.
And are they polished concrete or what?
Polished stained, like you would see at a supermarket.
Yeah.
So it's what they do for supermarket floors, and we all know they polish those things up. So we intentionally left that space to where you can come in with muddy, wet clothes, skis,
super
whatever.
Functional as well as beautiful.
Yeah, so and then we have a ton of hooks on one side, so you can hang your jackets, let your gloves dry if it's cold, snowy, whatever. So the downstairs is definitely kind of functional, and we have a
huge TV, couches,
poker table, shuffleboard, definitely an entertainment space. And there's 1 bedroom down there and a full bathroom.
Okay, and laundry.
Yeah, laundry.
Okay,
yep.
And then if I were to go upstairs from there, what would I find?
The main floor is kitchen, large dining room table, and kind of a seating area with a fireplace. So kind of a more linear kind of high-end fireplace.
And there's no natural light in that space at all, right?
The whole front of the house is full of windows.
Yeah.
So that's not a lot of natural light.
It's stunning. When we walked in there and looked out the windows and just the view and all of the lights and that's cool. And then the top floor is the master suite. So got a king bed in there with a TV. You have your own heating and cooling system in there, because at the top floor it gets a little warmer than the rest of the house because all the heat goes up there. And then you have a very luxurious walk downstairs with me one more time.
Okay.
So in addition to the kitchen and kind of the living area, there's 2 bedrooms?
2 bedrooms, yeah.
Okay.
2 bedrooms
and there's a
bath.
full bathroom in there, shower, tub, all that kind of stuff?
Yep.
Okay, so now let's go back upstairs. There's like a little office nook.
Yep, a little office nook.
You had like a smart desk or something that I could not for the life of me figure out how to use.
Just press the button.
Yeah.
So it's a smart desk. It just goes up and down. Okay. So it's a sit-stand desk, so you can stand and work and whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so now we're going back into the main
master
bedroom.
Yeah. Main bath. Yeah.
And you were just about to talk about the luxurious bathroom, which is luxurious. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we have granite quartz countertops, nice white quartz, undersunk sinks, all that kind of stuff. And then we have a really nice shower with dual shower head, a rain shower, and then a normal one. And then we have a true 2-person tub.
No, like I have never seen a bathtub this big in my entire life. Okay, it's beautiful. You guys did an incredible job.
Thank you.
So now I would just love, and I think a lot of people would love to actually just hear the story of how this developed and what it was like to walk to the point from the very beginning of when you first dreamed about this to the point of where it's become a reality now.
Yeah. The kind of vision behind it was a nice retreat location for our family to gather and enjoy time together, kind of away from the hustle and bustle of the city.
Was this already a location that you guys would go to and get away to?
Yeah, so I have some history there. I did some volunteer work up there, and then I worked up there for about a year, so I had some history there. And growing up, being the local ski resort, that's where I went to ski and snowboard and things like that. So interesting story. So when I first started up there in 2008, the lot was for sale, and I drove by it, kind of, did the Redfin thing, look at the listing and see how expensive it was. And
Did you say 2008?
2008.
Oh my goodness. So this has been like
a little while.
15 years in the making.
Yeah, so 2008.
I did not know that.
Yeah, 2008 is when I first started volunteering. It was for sale, and it was way out of our budget. And it's a 6-acre lot. There's about a 1 acre down low near the highway, and then 6 acres kind of up on a steep hill. So drove by it. It was really cool. Had a lot of large trees, beautiful lot, but then it was way too expensive. So fast forward to 2019, so 11 years later.
Okay.
And at this point, I've volunteered for probably 5 years up there. And then I did some freelance work up there for photo and video work. And then 2018-19, I actually worked there for a year. And so I was going up 3 days a week, 2 days remote, doing website and email work for Crystal Mountain. So the for sale sign popped up again. And this time it was well within our striking distance of price. And me and Abby are like, let's do it. And so we kind of did the whole home equity, kind of, pulled some money out of our current home, and we purchased the 6-acre lot.
You purchased this 6-acre lot. Did you, in your minds, have a vision or dream at that point of what you wanted to build on this lot?
So when you're looking at it, we saw it, with the heavily wooded, big trees, like a lot of bushes. It's hard to get a good visualization of what you could put there. It feels a lot smaller than it is.
Yeah.
Even though it is 6 acres, like that's a lot of space, but so it felt a lot smaller than what we anticipated with all the trees. But then, we started looking at plans online, found and we wanted the traditional steep pitch roof, not the A-frame where it touches the ground, but steep pitch roof, because they do get, it's 2,000 feet elevation up there, so they do get snow, or more snow than we do get down here in sea level. And so we needed something that was steep pitch and then matched the neighborhood. So we started looking at plans online. We found some that we liked. We contacted the person that was selling the plans, made some modifications through them, and then we hired a local architect and a local engineer to do the all the fine tuning and make sure all the plans were in depth enough for Washington State Code and Pierce County Code.
You found these plans, contacted the builder, got them, made some modifications, started working with engineering. At that point, was the vision just a getaway for you guys, or had that become a vision for short-term rental, Airbnb, VRBO, and whatnot?
Yeah. Initially, it was just a family retreat. Like I said, somewhere to kind of get away into the mountains. And as I was learning all about the Airbnb thing, and then I was also learning about custom home construction, and more specifically, energy efficient, high efficiency homes. So if you just start researching and start looking into some of this, like YouTube videos and things like that, you will realize that the modern home nowadays is not built as well as it could be built, with very little changes in what is actually done. So you can build a better quality home for not much more money if you're starting from scratch.
Yeah.
So you just have to have the right partners, and then you also have to make sure that the contractors, you have to tell them what you want and what your objectives and goals are.
Yeah.
And you can't necessarily assume that they know your goals and objectives and they know what you're trying to do. So there were specific things that I wanted, specific products that I wanted to use, and I just kind of either I told the contractor, like, this is what I want to do, this is how it's done, here's like some literature on it. If they needed kind of, okay, well, I haven't ever done that before, I just, how am I supposed to do that? And I would actually send them the YouTube videos on it, or send them like a PDF instruction manual. So there was, like my framers, they hadn't ever used the siding, the OSB product that I wanted.
Yeah.
The OSB product that I wanted was a weather barrier, OSB sheeting, and then insulation. So when you put that on a house, you've got your weather barrier, your sheathing, and some beginning insulation on the outside of the studs.
Okay.
It's kind of gets pretty geeky and technical, but my framer had never done that before.
Yeah.
So we kind of walked through the manual together.
How is that different than what someone would normally experience? What would you normally experience that scenario?
So a normal traditional house is OSB, which is that plywood looking oriented strand board stuff, and then it's just a Tyvek, like it looks like a tarp, a white tarp on the outside of your house.
Yeah.
And
without the insulation?
No insulation.
Okay.
So that goes directly up against the studs.
Yeah.
And then the insulation fills the cavities. So it goes from OSB to studs to sheetrock. So from the outside to the interior, there is wood to sheetrock. And wood is not a very good insulator. It can insulate, but it's not the ideal insulator.
So in a normal home, there's no insulation between the sheetrock and the OSB.
Between the studs.
So
you have a traditional 16-inch stud bay. It's full of insulation, and you have your OSB on one side and the sheetrock on the other side.
Yeah.
So every 16 inches you have a 1.5-inch board 2x4 where there's a thermal break.
Right.
So you add all that up over the culmination of a house, you can lose a lot of efficiency there.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is the kind of stuff that I dug into just to kind of understand what it means to build a house. And then if you put insulation on the outside of the studs, between the OSB and the studs, you can create a thermal break where the studs remain warmer, and then that warmth keeps the sheetrock warmer, and then the insulation against the OSB kind of creates a break between the outside and the inside.
So there's insulation between the studs, but the studs themselves, as wood, bring the cold in, more or less. So if you're insulating against that, you can kind of capture warmth in that hole, create just like a barrier, a wall.
Yeah, and they kind of talk about it of putting like a thermal break is almost like putting a big jacket on.
Yeah.
So you want to cover all of the different nooks and crannies on the outside. If you think of ribs, like you're not going to insulate between each rib. You want a jacket that covers the whole thing from the outside. So there's a few different videos on what kind of different systems you can use. But that was one system that my framer never used before.
Yeah.
But it was pretty simple. All you need to do is use different length nails. And then the nailing pattern was pretty much the same. I think there was an additional nailing in a few different other spots, but for the most part, it was a pretty simple change. So that was something we had to work through as a contractor, and even my builder hadn't used a product like that. But me as a homeowner requesting kind of this custom thing, I shouldn't have been afraid to speak up and make sure that they build it the way I want it built. And that was my biggest takeaway.
So, okay, I think what I hear you saying is your biggest takeaway from the building process was almost just your partnership with the builder and the subcontractors, getting to a point where you felt comfortable saying, hey, I may not be the expert, but I've done some research, here are some things I want, here are some things I think could work well. And even though they're the experts, some of that may be new information for them, but by speaking up and partnering, you came away with a product that probably all of you felt like was so much better and cooler in the end.
Yeah, for sure.
That's so great. Talk to me now through the story of how the vacation rental aspect evolved and came to be.
Yeah, so home is pretty much done. We're working through the furniture, all the stuff that we fill the home with, right? Yeah. And then at that point, I worked on the Airbnb, VRBO, and booking website side of things. So we knew we wanted to do it, and I knew I wanted Airbnb, VRBO, and then I also wanted direct booking. Couple reasons.
Is direct booking just another
So there's different technical platforms out there that allow you to host your website. So like our website is staybarefoot.com.
Yeah.
Bear, like the animal, BEAR.
Yeah.
And so that's staybarefoot.com is our website, and you can direct book on there. And so we have a payment system that we
Direct booking through your website.
through my website.
Got it.
So Airbnb and VRBO, it's either like 15% to 25% fees. So you pay that as a book person that books, and then I pay fees as someone, like processing fees, and there's like a lot of fees built into those platforms because they have massive websites, massive teams. They have to pay for all that stuff. Whereas the website I pay for is like $50 a month, and then I just get paid the credit card processing fees, which are whatever, like 2-3% or whatever. So so you avoid like 15% and 25% fees from the other platforms.
Yeah.
And that allows me to be like friends, family, or like my church, or you guys. Like we can create a booking through my website with a really super low price, and I control every element of it, including the credit card processing.
Yeah.
Or I can create a $0 booking through my website, and it goes onto my calendar. It syncs to everything.
Does it automatically block it off from the other websites then?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then my marketing automation, my emails go through, because it's all kind of integrated system.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my expertise. The career that I have is like marketing technology. So I leaned into that heavy, and so far it's been pretty great as far as the marketing technology of it and everything working, and the communication with guests. There's been no gaps because we kind of put all these little things in place ahead of time.
That's great.
And then one addition to that is home automation. So cameras. So Airbnb, VRBO, you can't have any cameras in the home or any cameras looking into the home, but for obvious reasons, privacy reasons. Yeah. But you can have exterior cameras on any of the entryways, driveways, any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we made sure to install cameras because we want to know who's coming, who's going. Also to monitor any kind of like large parties or large gatherings. We need to definitely make sure we knew what was happening at all times.
Yeah.
So we had really good marketing automation. Ryan Stennis, his dad, actually has a security home automation company.
Cool.
So that was an easy connection for us to make there.
When you say home automation, what does home automation mean?
So I can turn lights on and off from my phone.
Okay.
I can unlock and lock doors from my phone. I can turn the security system on and off from my phone. I can view cameras from my phone. I can monitor everything because we're an hour away.
I literally heard a story from someone 2 or 3 days ago saying that they were never going to do short-term rentals again because one time they were on their way to a vacation, and because a guest had lost a key, they had to veer off, cancel their vacation, and go let them in. Everything you just said, is brilliant.
Yeah.
For that scenario.
You got to lean into technology. If it's your personal house, you may not want all that technology, depending on if you like it, you don't like it, whatever. But when it's some property that's an hour away, you spend an occasional weekend up there, but guests are enjoying it.
Yeah.
Guests are going to actually appreciate security cameras.
Yeah.
They're going to appreciate some of these. When someone checks in, I program a 4-digit code, and then they have and it's usually like the last 4 digits of their phone number or something like that, something easy for them to remember. And there's no key to lose, and they're going to remember the last 4 digits of their phone number, hopefully.
Yeah.
So it makes it so easy for people to check in, check out, and then you can set an expiration on the code. So you have it expire like a day after they leave or something like that. So all that stuff, you just got to lean into technology on some of that, and make it as smooth, as easy for the guest as possible.
Yeah.
Is kind of where we landed on that. So
yeah.
The other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to give people gifts. So I know it sounds kind of weird, but we wanted popcorn. That's such a simple thing that people don't necessarily think about it in the grocery store. But hey, let's make sure there's popcorn in the cupboard, and hey, let's give them a bottle of wine. $10-15 bottle of wine, but if kids go to bed, mom and dad can stay up and enjoy experience together in the hot tub or whatever. Maybe some snacks, some trail mix and granola bars for any hikes that they go on. They may have forgot some items. So, maybe sodas in the fridge, water's in the fridge. So just take the experience you get and just elevate it to make sure people can feel that you care.
Yeah.
And that's what we tried to accomplish.
Yes, you accomplished that very well.
Sweet.
So just kind of as review for anyone who's listening, let's just chat for a moment about some of the benefits of being a real estate investor, because obviously you are at this point a real estate investor. You own real estate, and it's an investment for your family and your future. Are there some ways you've already well, I guess let's see. You started in August. This will be the first year that you'll see an impact on your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
Oh yeah. So sort of, and we 2022, when we consulted with our tax professional, we were not sure if we could use the amount of money we were spending, because it's technically a business.
Yeah.
And so we discussed it with her, and she said, no, like any money that you put towards your business can be used as startup costs. So that helped reduce our taxes quite a bit.
That's awesome.
So that was good. That helped reduce our taxes. So that's a good. And then we'll have startup costs this year too, because we did pay for a lot of the upfront stuff. Basically, anything that we didn't use real estate debt, like home equity line of credit or mortgage. We could put that towards startup costs, because those are depreciated a different way.
Yeah.
So there's depreciation, and then there's the startup costs. And I think anytime you run a business, there's like the business expense that can offset the revenue from your business. And then it's kind of, so that's always good to have.
Yeah.
You know, any kind of business, small business, even if you can kind of turn a hobby into a small business, you can kind of offset some of the costs for running that business. For the most part, all business owners know that. Specifically when it comes to real estate investing, given the environment we're in now, I think it's a little bit more difficult because rates are not like rock bottom. Historically, 2 years or a year ago, however long before the rates started going up, that was like as low as it goes, like the lowest rates you could ever, and it lasted that way for a while, and it was like insane, you know. Now that we have higher rates, folks are kind of like, man, I don't want to move from my 3% to like a 7. That's pretty nuts. Even though 7 is not bad, if you look back 30, 40 years, it's not that bad. But when you look at your mortgage payment on how much goes towards principal, how much goes towards interest, and then you say, okay, what's that over 30 years? You're paying like 3 times the amount for that house. So I think people are a little bit smarter nowadays with mortgages and with their finances, and they kind of see those numbers and they're saying, man, it's hard to for your bottom line. Ultimately, if you're doing this as a real estate investor, you know, your bottom line, you want to be in the green. You don't necessarily want to be in the red. Yeah. So the only alternative where you'd be okay with riding out in the red on a monthly basis or a yearly basis was if you anticipate a lot of appreciation.
Yeah. Okay, so right there you talked about being in the black or the green above the line. So cash flow is another benefit of real estate investment, and for you that looks like if you hit more than that 50% occupancy threshold, where all of a sudden you're not just breaking even, but there's a little extra cash. So that's another benefit. Additionally, you do have a mortgage, so every time you make that payment, you're getting the benefit of debt pay down. Some of that's basically going to a savings account in the equity of your home, paying off the debt, and so your renters are helping pay down your debt and build you equity. And then you mentioned the last one briefly. Appreciation, yeah. Over time, average appreciation tends to be around 4%. And because you built, you're already sitting pretty well on value, and just expect to see that go up. So over time, this incredible family dream that has turned into a beautiful place to host for other people actually could be a really powerful financial tool for you guys as well. So speaking of blessing people, one of the things we've talked about is doing a giveaway for some lucky contestant out there, someone that we know we're connected with, a client, a friend, a family member.
Absolutely.
So thank you for wanting to be a part of that. So we're going to do the big reveal here. It'll be 2 nights at the BearFoot cabin. 2 nights, 3 days. How it shakes out, we're going to throw in a $150 Safeway gift card so that it's the last stop as people are coming up in Enumclaw. They can kind of stock up. It'll be just a fun little getaway for someone and or family. So looking forward to partnering with you to give that gift to someone and share that news with everyone so they can get in on it. That'll be really fun. And just thank you again for the gift you gave our family. The time that we went there was really meaningful for us.
Awesome. That's another part of the vision that we had when we built the property is opening the doors for pastors, or opening the door for our church, open the door for friends, for family members, because when we're there, the issues of the world, the stresses of our work, stresses of school, kids' school, they feel like they kind of melt away, and so if we can bless people with that, that's something that is on our hearts for sure. So part of this giveaway is again just blessing somebody, giving them an experience, maybe get them out of the hustle and bustle of the city and let them enjoy nature. And we will continue to do that. So just in partnership with you, give somebody an experience, hopefully maybe rekindle a relationship, build a relationship with their kids, just maybe something positive comes out of it. And that's been a vision of ours, and just giving back of what we've been blessed with. So
that's awesome. I love that vision, and hopefully we can help you add to some of your bookings too, and bring a little more attention to you guys as well.
Yeah, if that's an outcome too, that's awesome. So so staybearfoot.com. Whoever wins, you just basically go to the website, and with whoever wins, we'll send you an email with all the details.
Yeah.
But you have to book direct on the website, because then I can give you the free price essentially. So I can't control the price on Airbnb and VRBO and make it free. So you have to go directly to my website, and then anybody who doesn't win, you can, if you want to stay there, you can book directly on my website too.
That's awesome.
So
thanks for your time. Thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah,
it was
my pleasure.
Really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. This is Zane, one of the partner agents on the Andrew Farmer team. Thank you to Brian and Abby for partnering with us as we do this giveaway for 2 nights at their cabin near Crystal Mountain in Enumclaw. We're also doing a $150 gift card to Safeway so that you can stock up and grab some food on your way up there. The giveaway will be drawn in mid-January, and you can register in the link either in the email or on the social post. And if you don't have the link, text either Andrew or me. Our numbers will be here. And thank you for watching.